We started off some microgreens 7 days ago, and we said we'd follow that until we reached the point of harvest, because I know quite a few people have mentioned that they'd like to give it a go. So we'll take a look at the progress on these radish microgreens. And that's the container we put them in, and you can see they're already trying to burst out at the sides, but we have weighted it down because we want these to push this tray up, and you can see they've pushed this tray right to the top of that one. If we take the top off of this, we can have a quick look inside, and you can see that there's lots of germination in there, but these are all yellow, and that's because they've had no sunlight. Around the edges where they've managed to creep through, they have had a bit of sunlight, so they've gone green. But what we want to be doing now is getting these to grow a little bit taller before we harvest. So we'll take that weight off at this point, and then we'll reverse that tray and put that back over top like that, trapping all those microgreens inside there. But now they've got a little bit more room to grow, but they're still blacked out, so basically they're going to carry on stretching, and we'll leave it like that for a day, maybe 2 days, and then we'll come back to it. If you notice that they might have been a bit dried out, give them a misting of water, but these were perfectly fine, so we'll leave those at that. And that's the next stage of doing these microgreens. We just need to wait now a little bit longer for them to stretch. So now that bit's done, we need to collect some more tomatoes, and it seems like we're forever collecting tomatoes, but this afternoon we're making some salsa on Cooking Channel. Yesterday we made sun-dried tomatoes but using an air fryer, which worked really well. So today it's salsa, and we'll harvest quite a few of these tomatoes off these sweet millions, because there is quite a lot that need taking off. We're at a point now where as soon as they ripen, you need to take them away to allow the ones that are still on there to start ripening as well before we run out of time. So let's get some of these tomatoes took off. And as you can see, we have got 1 or 2 more to go at. But other than that, if we look right inside this plant, there's also lots in there that need removing, and also over there. So we don't want to miss out on any of those. So as they come ripe, we need to make sure we take them all off. They're perfect little tomatoes, those. So we'll get all of these off today, and then all the ones above have got more of a chance of ripening. And it doesn't matter how many tomatoes we take off, because we always blend them and then use them to make sauces later on, so nothing goes to waste. We've already got quite a few in there, and it's much better than buying them from shops. And we've got quite a few at a lower level. These are going to make really good salsas or sauce or whatever you decide to use them for, because they're really nice looking tomatoes. And when you consider that we're taking harvest off these every single week, it's amazing how quick they come ready again. So that is from that one plant. So we'll move on to another. Right at the bottom we've got a nice bunch. The last ones from this first truss that started. So that truss is now finished. Got a nice bunch just above as well. Even ones that aren't quite ripe at this time of year, you might as well take them off. They'll ripen indoors within 2 days. And then we get to the ones that are getting a little hidden by all this foliage. We don't want to miss out on these ones, because they're the ones that's most likely to end up overripe. And you can see just how ripe these are. But if they get overripe, they will split. So make sure you get all those off. And just remember, this is fun part of you. This is where you're reaping the rewards for all that effort you've been putting in. I'll show you an example what I'm talking about. That one is very ripe, but it's been left too long. So it's basically split all the way around. So that's no good. Then we move to the next plant. Once again, that bottom truss is now finished. So now we're looking at the one just above it. Some ripe, some not. But if you look on the next truss above that, look at all these on here. There's loads on this truss. That's only the next one up. So again, we'll get all those off, because that is a nice bunch of ripe tomatoes right there. So we've still got quite a lot to go at. But what I'm going to start and do, as we get to this point at year, we need to start removing more branches. So we've got that truss there, and then we've got a branch. I move that out of the way, if possible, and we'll break that branch off. And if you look where I've just broke that branch off, we've still got a side shoot trying to grow. We just need to clear some of this and let more light in there again. So there, take that off. Just open all these up. They're going to ripen a lot quicker if you do that. And the same on the one next to it. We've done this before, but it's always a good idea to remind yourself to do it. And now we've opened up more to ripening quicker, and that one is quite a dense bunch, so this one definitely needs thinning out. So avoiding those trusses, we can just go in, break off branches, get all this opened up. We're at that point at year where we need to concentrate mainly on ripening, not growing more tomatoes. We've got enough on these plants to keep us going for a while. So dig in there, find the branches, not the trusses, and then just carefully move them. Depending on how you've let your plant grow, it can be a bit tricky, but if you take your time, it's perfectly doable. You're probably going to knock a couple of tomatoes off doing this, but don't worry about that. I'm sure at this point of year you're going to have plenty to go at. Get in there, get rid of that one. This plant is packed with tomatoes. You can see there's loads and loads in here that are ripening. And we've got some very tiny ones, even at that level of plant. Now you can see I've opened that up quite a lot, and I've knocked a few tomatoes off, but you're going to see why. That's the bottom of that plant where we're going to start picking from. But now we've removed all those leaves, you can see to the extent of the amount of tomatoes that's on this plant. And if we just pull that away, look at all those. That is an amazing bunch of tomatoes. I think we've got a bit of tomato picking to do here, and now we know there's plenty of light getting to these ones, so they'll grow a little bit more and then they'll ripen, and then we'll get an even bigger harvest. At the same time we're clearing away all that foliage, so now it's not feeding this, it's concentrating more on ripening your tomatoes. We've cleared quite a lot off that plant, and we've opened it all up to more sunlight now, so everything else is going to grow that much quicker and ripen that much faster. But we have still got some more plants outside that definitely need harvesting, so while we're doing it and making up sauces, we might as well clear those plants as well. And that's these, once again, sweet million plants. We've got the odd one that's split, but there's plenty on here for us to take off as well. So while we're at it, we might as well get that job done. So I'll finish taking these off, and then we'll have a look at what we've got between the two pickings. Well, it was certainly a good day for a tomato harvest. This is what we've took from those two pickings. That is a massive amount of very sweet cherry tomatoes. So we best get these indoors we can get them all prepped over the next couple of days, and we can start making sauces and then batch freezing them to use in autumn and winter. Now all those plants have got plenty of room to start ripening all those tomatoes that's left, and you saw there's still quite a lot. Anyway, in a couple of days we'll check on those microgreens again and we'll see that progress, and by then it should have been 9 days, which means they should be ready for your first harvest. If you'd like to see how these microgreens turn out over the next couple of days, then please hit that subscribe button, press that notifications bell, and I look forward to seeing you then. Take care.